Welcome, everyone. So lovely to see you. And today I have Claudia Quintanilla with us. So Claudia is the designer of the Melody sweater. Welcome, Claudia.
Thank you, Irene. Nice to see you. Thanks for inviting me. And hello to everybody.
Well, tell us a little bit about what was the inspiration for this sweater.
You know what? That sweater is quite old, and I haven't gone and read it because I have a lot of visitors here today. But normally, and I think it's one of those, I get a lot of inspiration from churches, cathedrals, windows, and I think it's one of those where the repetitions are like an architecture that I can see anywhere on the street.
Right.
And another thing that I get a lot of inspiration for is from art. Like I go to art galleries, museum, and I get inspiration from everything, from the frames, from fashion shows. But I think this is one that it look very architecture like, you know.
I'm gonna knit mine with the knitting from Olive that I got from your store, actually.
Ooh, I love that color, eh?
I love this color. It's this dark, moody blue with like a little purple tones to it. Like I absolutely love it. So one of them is the merino and another one is the silk mohair. So I'm gonna hold them double. Did any of you guys already cast on? So what I did basically, I just seconds ago uploaded the video that's a very detailed line by line tutorial of how to read the lace chart for this thing. Because in this sweater, so it's knitted from the bottom up, right? And you start with the long tail cast on or any other cast on you want. And then you do the twisted rib for 2 rows. And then there is the lace chart. So the lace chart is on the bottom of the hem, on the sleeves. And then once you're done with the body of the sweater, there is lace chart on top. And it's the same exact lace chart. So I figure there are some people that were hesitant to join because they said, well, I don't know how to read charts. So for those people specifically, I spent today this whole morning filming the tutorial of how to read that chart line by line, showing you like every sign and showing every stitch. So there is zero excuses for somebody not to be able to read those charts now. And the chart is like really simple and it repeats. It's the same exact chart on the bottom of the hem, on the sleeves, and on top of the yoke. So you guys should be golden, basically. Can you please briefly introduce yourself? Whoever wants to unmute themselves and like tell us a couple words about yourself, where you're joining from, if that's your first knit along with me, or if you've done multiple others. Just introduce yourself. Fiona, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Fiona.
Hi, I'm Fiona. My day job as such, I work as an illustrator and comics artist. So I just really like a lot of bright colors and stuff. And I've done a lot of top-down sweaters, but this one I really liked that it was the bottom up. So I'm actually on the sleeve right now. I like to make big sleeves, so I've been doing the math. Yeah, I had a whole bundle of sweater yarn that I'd bought for a different project and it just never worked out. And then Arena says, oh, I'm going to do this sweater. I'm like, that would look nice in a fade. So I have the bottom part of the main sweater because I started early. As soon as Arena said, let's do it. So it'll go up to like a coral and things. So I thought that would be really nice around the neck.
Very, very colors.
So yeah, it's I've had the yarn for like 2 years at this point, and it's just been sitting there and waiting. So I think this is the right, it's the waiting for the right thing. And then you were saying cathedrals and all that kind of stuff. I was like, yes, excellent. It's such a great, add-on for this. And it's not even a very expensive yarn, so
sometimes it's all about colors.
Yes.
You find it, did you stumble on anything so far? Like is everything clear so far, like from where you come?
Yeah, everything's been like super clear, and I hate ribbing. So So like when I saw this jumper, that the ribbing was like little bits of lace instead, I was like, yeah, that's it, sold. Like I don't have to sit there and do like a massive chunk at the bottom of a sweater or at the top or at the sleeves or anything. I just have to make the lace and it looks great.
Right, here it's only 2 rows, so it's like super simple.
Yeah.
Did you do the long tail cast on for this sweater?
I did, yes. I'd learned a thing recently with sock knitting about like putting your thumb on top of the stitch so that every time the next stitch will sit at the edge of your thumb, so it gives you a little gap in between each one so it doesn't end up too tight. So I was like, oh, I'll just do that and it should work and be kind of stretchy with the lace and stuff, and it seems to be. So
well, I'm so glad
yeah.
you're joining me again. Like you are the regular.
I'm here all the time.
I'm glad you joined.
Me doing something stupid with color is normal.
It's not stupid, it's adventurous.
No, it's not.
Colors are very beautiful.
Thank you.
Does anybody else want to introduce themselves?
I'm Judy.
Okay, hold
from
on.
Nyack, New York. Maddie from New City, New York.
Hello.
Good to be. Hello. We had a little bit of technical trouble here. Took 2 of us to figure this out.
That's fine. Like it's, you know what, Zoom can be very temperamental at times. So as long as you figured it out. So have you guys done the bottom-up sweaters before?
Which one?
Yeah, we've done bottom-up sweaters.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay. And what yarn did you decide to use for this one?
Oh, well, I'm using the Camellia Fiber Company.
I love that.
It's baby alpaca, merino, and cotton.
That's
Oh, nice.
I did cast on already because I figured I can't participate. And we had to get to the stockinette. We decided we had to get past the pattern.
Tell them how many times.
No, I'm not telling them how many times.
I cast on at least 8 times.
Well, tell me why.
Okay.
What was the trouble? I just want to.
Okay, first of all, I did not like the SSKs. So I was on probably row 10 of the pattern, ripped it out, just thought I could do it better, made no changes, and it still came out late. Horrible. I also thought I would go up a size. So I went, instead of going up a size, I went up a size needle. No. And then Judy sends me how to SSK. So ripped it, went up to the second size.
We did about 16 different versions.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm really liking the way it's a lot of fun, the way it's came out. I'm using Valley Yarns Westfield, which is wool, silk, and yak.
Oh, that sounds
beautiful. And I did it a couple of times because I was kind of between sizes and it was looking too big. So I kept the bigger size, but went down a needle size.
Okay.
And now it's fine.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys joining us. Welcome. Belinda, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hi.
I first want to apologize for my flashing light. My overhead light is blinking. My daughter is upstairs and she bounces around and loosens the light bulbs. So it's been flashing and driving me nuts. Anyway, my name is Belinda. I go by the handle Be Making Joy. I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where mine is stupid right now. Mine is 27 this morning Celsius.
Wow.
Yeah, and getting colder. Have a few patterns that I've designed, but I love stopping and working on someone else's design at the palette. And I participated with Humans of Westknit this fall for the first time.
Yeah.
So this.
Have you done before the top-down sweaters?
Yeah, I do. I've done a lot of top-down sweaters like this one. What am I wearing? The Love Note.
Yeah.
And a ranunculus in the same color, in the same yarn. So this, and I've done it way in the past. I've done bottom-ups in pieces that you have to seam together, and I don't like those.
Right. Well,
this one looks so exciting. I have to get to the
be...
stockinette part before tomorrow because I have a road trip.
Well, I'm going to Vermont for 3 days for a knitting retreat tomorrow. So I started as well because I was like, I need to get to the stockinette part so I can just sit there with the ladies and knit
Yeah.
peacefully. And I just came from visiting my parents in Florida, which was great. Like the weather wasn't amazing, it was okay, but like I came back and the next morning I woke up with like a few inches of water in my basement. So yesterday was very hectic with like a bunch of people coming to my house trying to fix all the places where the water was coming in and drying my basement. And today I was trying to film that tutorial, the lace reading charts, and I'm gonna put Claudia because she has the most adorable visitor.
I draw you something. Today I'm not very focused. I'm sorry because I have this visitor that I want you to see before I have to go. But I brought the sweaters too, but I want to introduce Olivia to you.
Hello, Olivia. She's the most beautiful model.
Yes, she's not. I didn't put anything. I was gonna put some of my patterns from the book, but I decided to don't bother her.
Well, Belinda, I'm gonna come back to you in 1 second. I want to talk to Claudia a little bit before because she has to run soon. So I want to talk to her about making memories. So last year you published your book, Making Memories, and it's needs for children of different ages. But you're also making matching patterns for adults. Like this is how this one is the cathedral that I did last year. I did actually quite a few. Like the latest one was this dust that I did, that I just finished. Like that was my last project of last year, I think. And then I just came from Florida, as I mentioned, and I was wearing the Florencia tee there nonstop because it's like perfect summer top if you guys wanna, and it's also bottom up. So if you want after this sweater to find another bottom up, easy, fast, lacy knit, like highly recommend. I love knitting it, but I also love wearing it. But do you have any other plans for more books, Claudia, in this year?
I'm working really hard in adult stuff. Like I publish most of the adult stuff in Ravelry. I have like about 187 for adults, but I'm trying to be more organized to make one book with adult patterns. I wish I have one here, but I don't think I have that. I have my next sweater here. I probably should show it to you. And I brought two Melody sweaters to show it to you, to show how they look. Melody is an old sweater. It's when I still were doing sweaters bottom up, because when I learned to knit, I learned a lot with Rowan. Right. And Rowan, everything I learned was bottom up. But now when I modernize myself, I start to do it top down. But I have to tell you something. I still have preference from the bottom up, just because I think you can get better shape. But a lot of designers are doing beautiful stuff top down. So I'm trying to do a lot of stuff top down. Let me show you the stuff that I have here. I have my companion here. Say hello.
Hi, Olivia.
She's very nice. She's very
fun.
It's the first time I meet her. So here is the Melody. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Maybe I should put it on. And this is in another color. I really like this color. It's like a maroon.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's actually the color that you see on the cover.
Yes, it's the one. Yeah. And somebody, I don't remember her name, the person with the beautiful sweater, the beautiful color. What is her name? Your name?
Oh, Fiona.
Fiona, I so much agree with you that the reed of the sweater is the best part. I don't like reeds either. I like these different kind of ended in the sweaters, and there's no reed. I find them more interesting. And I hate things pressing my stomach. I like things that they're more like A style. But I want to show you one of my new sweaters, and I'm going to take to New York.
And I actually just came back from Toronto, and I was in Claudia's store. If you guys ever in Toronto, I highly recommend you to visit that store. because they have the most amazing variety of yarn there. And I came back with this yarn, but I also came back. There was a trunk show for La Garçon. And so Max, the knitter, and Vincent, they were both there with their new line of yarn. And that was like super interesting to meet them and also like to see the yarn they were working on. Oh, that's beautiful.
I wearing the sweater that you guys are making. And I'm not very good person for sweaters, but anyways, can you see it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I couldn't put the zoom in my computer because we moved things around the house. I wish that I have a bigger screen, but I just have my phone. So this is the one. It's probably a little bit small for me, but this one was done with just sack yarn and a little bit of mohair.
Yeah.
And wasn't anything fancy. It was like a sack yarn, really, really inexpensive yarn. And I really like the mohair though.
Yeah.
Because it's make it, and this is one of, it's all, I don't remember how many years this pattern is. But this, I suspect this sweater is at least 5-6 years, and it doesn't have any peeling or anything. And I think it's the mohair.
January 2020, the publishing date. So
yeah, it's been how many years?
Like
24
years, yeah.
Yeah, but it stood really nice. I mean, I
also like when I came to your store, you also showed me some new sweaters that you were making.
I will show you one new one. I'm gonna show you. I've been invited to Chile to be their guest speaker. So I made in a pattern that I really like, and this one we do want to have a knit-along in a few months. I would love you if you guys participate. I really like this sweater. Oh, but this sweater have a little bit of beads.
It's beautiful.
I mean, I'm not the best model.
Oh, you're a beautiful model.
But I have it here in another color.
It's beautiful. I love the sleeve detail. It's like in the.
I like this part.
Yeah.
It's called Azucena Chile, and this one have beads. I never have worked with beads, but I thought it was something different. But the instructions for the beads, they're gonna be pretty much for you to make the decision how you do them, because there's no in the instructions. You just get the beads and you place them wherever you want. The sweater doesn't need them, but I did add some to this one.
Yeah.
In different colors. It's very easy, very simple. And again, this is fingering with mohair.
Right. And you also showed me some other sweaters that gonna come out this year, I believe, that had embroidery on them. So I got to see this sneak preview, and you guys will keep an eye on her because she's coming up with some amazing stuff this year.
Are any of you coming to New York?
I'm gonna be in New York. Oh, you guys are coming?
You have to come and see me. I'm gonna have all my new sweaters there, and we're gonna have free sweater for everybody who come and visit us, free pattern. And we don't going to bring anything to sell to it. We're just going to bring all the new sweaters from this year, and we're all gonna be wearing them. And you're welcome to come for dinner with us Saturday. We're gonna go for dinner at some point. Irene, what are you doing Saturday?
I'm going to. They have the banquet. They have a banquet on Saturday. So I think I'm going to be at the banquet.
You going to the gala?
Yeah.
I couldn't get a ticket. I tried.
They sell out like really fast. I think I was like, first day it came out, I was like, I'm going.
Well, I tried to get, because I have 7. I taken 7 girls with me from here, from Toronto, from the store. And I tried to get them to come for just the dinner. And then when we find the packages, there were just like packages for like doing all sorts of things. Right. And we tried to check anyways, because I want to go at least. And wasn't any tickets left.
Yeah, it sells out really fast. I tried to do it last year and I couldn't get in. So this year I was like on the mission to get in.
Did you go to the cocktail, to the welcome cocktail?
last year I was there, but I didn't do any organized activities. But I must tell you, like, even if you just come for the marketplace, you're still gonna have amazing time there. So if you guys have opportunity to come to Vogue Knitting, highly recommend it. I had the best time there.
I have never been. Did you have a really good time?
Yeah, you're gonna meet so many people. It's like, it's amazing because it's in New York City, it's in Times Square, it's so conveniently located that like a lot of people from other countries come. So last year I got to meet Dario Tubiano there in real life. Like a lot of people who I interviewed were there. Dear Prue from Australia, Bridget from the Cowgirl Blues from South Africa. So like from all over the world, people come there.
Interesting. Where you guys live? All of you, where you are from?
Yeah, tell us, where are you from? Belinda, I was talking to you. Let's continue with Belinda, where we left. Tell us a little bit more about like what yarn you're gonna use for this sweater.
Okay, I cast on last night. I'm on row 2. The yarn that was in my stash for quite some time. That's Iron Brand the Glove Touch of Merino. So it's a 90% acrylic, 10% merino, which I bought it back in the day before I knew good yarn. But it's all right. It's got a little softness to it. And I bought it for a black sweater. And I think now this is the perfect sweater to do in black because it's simple, right?
Right.
But I'm worried about whether the stitch is actually going to show up.
I think it will. I think it's like textural enough that it's you're gonna see it. I'm actually curious as well because like this is probably my sweater in dark blue. Like it's also dark, but
yeah,
like you can see the stitches. I was thinking about it, but I like so far you can see the twist of the stitches. So it's still there's enough texture and
even just these first 2 rounds of the twisted rib, I'm loving the texture and this feel of the yarn. So I think I made a good choice. We'll see.
For sure. Does anybody else want to introduce themselves? Kathy, would you like to join us?
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm joining from Pennsylvania, outside Philadelphia. And I've watched some of your knit-alongs, but I've never participated. So I thought this was a good opportunity.
So glad you decided to join.
Thanks. And the yarn I'm using, I haven't started. I have a sweater on the needles that I just have one sleeve to finish. So I'm going to finish that first.
Oh, that's fine. We're going to be here for a while, so you can.
Yeah, and it's good because I'll see everybody's experiences and then I can incorporate those with mine. But I'm using a sport weight wool. I keep going back and forth in the color because I like blue. It's a little bright, and the one behind you, actually, that soft blue is what I prefer. But like other people, I'm using what I have in my stash. So
I actually really like that color. I think it's going to be very fresh, like to the face.
And with the lace, I'm thinking it might be more of a springtime sweater to wear. So we'll see.
Have you done the bottom up before?
I don't think so. I do a lot of shawls, mittens, socks. So I've done a few sweaters, but I think they've all been top down. So this will be new for me. I do like lace though, and I love that this incorporates that little bit of lace at the bottom and the top. Chart reading is one thing I can do.
Well, I wanted to mention that actually somebody discovered there was like a little typo in the pattern. So if you guys get stumbled by that, I just want you to know. So when in the pattern it talks about the gauge, there was like a typo of the wrong size needles, and the needles in the gauge are the actual needles that used in the sweaters. So just ignore that. It's 4 millimeters and not size 4.
That actually was me. That was my question on Ravelry.
I'm glad you asked that, because it's like, even though sometimes like the pattern can be old, but there's like tiny typos like this can still sneak in. So I'm glad that you discovered it before we all started, you know.
Okay, good.
And if you guys have
sorry about that. Thanks for telling us.
Sure.
I mean, it happens all the time. And if anybody stumbles on something that you don't understand, you don't know how to do a technique or something, please write in Ravelry group or shoot me a DM or email me. So my email is fiberchats@gmail.com. Like, feel free to email me with any questions. And if there's something like that you don't know how to do, I'm more than happy to shoot a quick tutorial. So we'll get through this together one way or another. We're not going to leave anybody behind. Does anybody else want to tell us where you're from?
I'm Barb. I'm from Portland, Oregon. And I'm kind of, I saw a yay. I've got a bit of a cold this morning, so I'm sounding kind of gravelly, but I went all out. I splurged. I've never done this, but I bought the kit with the Dusty Dove, the knitting for olive, merino and mohair, and I am so excited. It's so beautiful. And you know, my mom used to make bottom-up sweaters. When I remember when she discovered sweaters that were knit in the round, she was so excited because she didn't have to sew them together, and they were always bottom up.
Right.
But so when I first started knitting top-down sweaters, I thought, well, this is different. But I haven't knit a bottom-up one for years and years and years and years. But I'm fine with it.
I just tried one last year for the first time, and I actually liked the fit better. Like, I somehow felt like it was nicer fit than the top down.
I didn't get enough yarn to make it longer, so I'm a little worried about it being cropped. I could buy more yarn, but I can just choose what I wear it with, so hopefully it'll look good. I'm still finishing up the Minogame shawl from last year's knit along.
Yeah.
I got sidetracked in the middle, so I'm back to that and really loving that, but I'm going to set it aside yet once again and start the Melody because it's so beautiful.
For those of you who are new to my knit-alongs, last year I decided to go a little crazy and I did a year-long knit-along. And there were 3 patterns. One of them was Minogame, and it was all Shetland lace knit-along. I decided to go ambitious, right? So the first pattern was Minogame by A Passion for Lace, and it was a perfect pattern for beginners in lace. I also did a bunch of tutorials for it. Yeah, here's, you can see the
Nice.
Barbara showing the picture of it there.
Very pretty, Barbara.
And we had Monique Boonstra for an interview, and we chatted with her. So it was like really fun. And the second pattern was more ambitious. It was Marvels of the Sunless Sea by Hazel Carter, which was more complicated, but I also put some tutorials. So if you guys at some point of your life want to dabble in that, it's all there on the YouTube, so you can check it out. And then the third pattern was Sorceress by Paula Kibiltis. And Sorceress was a Shetland lace top. And I did exactly what Barbara have been doing. I knitted a little bit and I put it aside to knit some of the Claudia's sweaters. And then I came back and it was like bits and pieces. And it took me almost the entire year to finish it just because I was doing so many things in between. So there is no right or wrong, right? Like, you can always come back to it, or you can even go back now and start another year of Shetland lace if you want to participate in that. Well, I'm so glad you're doing it again, Barbara. Thank you for joining.
I want to say something because I'm going to have to go really soon because I have my visitors here.
Sure.
I just want to say nice to meet you. Thank Fiona, Barbara, Eileen, and the rest, and I haven't memorized the name. Thanks for doing my pattern. It means a lot to me. And I hope that it fit you nicely. I really like just my personal experience with this sweater. Like, I have worn it a couple of times. I like it shorter because I like to wear it with dresses or with skirts. Like, if you have a very thin dress, you can put it in the top of your dress and it look cute. If you make it really long, it doesn't look as good with a skirt or with a dress.
Right.
So just because Barbara was saying that she didn't bother enough, I kind of like it short, but I don't know how you like to dress. I know that some people like to make their sweater really, really long. I I have two extremes. I like it either short for my dresses and skirts, or I like it really long that is like a tunic and I can wear like very, very tight pants, almost leggings. But then I make it really long.
Right.
So like to cover my butt. So,
you can just, you can play with it before you attach the sleeves. You can see like the lengths of it, try it on some dress or some skirt and see if that looks long enough.
Yeah, and if you want to make it really long, I think you should make it a little bigger too. Then it give more the flow of a tunic than a sweater.
Right.
It look better if you want. Another thing that I want to say before I leave is that I really like Florencia when I went to Florida. She looked fantastic.
Thank you. And actually that one I did make a little longer because I knew I want to wear it with pants. So for me, I did it like mid-hip, but like it's also, you can do it crop version or you can do it a little longer. So there's ways to, you know, make it to fit the way you want to fit it. Claudia, I want to thank you personally for joining today. I know you're super busy and I appreciate that you could join us.
No, thanks to you. I just was, everything went a little bit crazy. I would stay here longer, but everything went a little bit crazy because last week I was sick.
Yeah.
And I have to postpone my visitor who's coming from really far away with 2 children. So, and I haven't seen her in ages. And so I couldn't postpone it today, and it happened to happen at the same time. But at least I have the chance to show you the beautiful baby.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm going to see you in New York in a couple of weeks. So I'm very excited to see you again.
I'm very, very excited. And if you don't have time on Saturday, maybe you have time another day, then we can go and grab a coffee or have a dinner. What is her name? Joanna from Time Off is coming from Chile. So yeah, maybe we have time to go and
from Wednesday to Sunday, so we'll find the time to meet up and spend some time.
Yeah, we have to find the time. And if any of you are there, come and visit us. We in the 410. Our booth is 410.
Okay, I'll definitely come and say hi.
Oh no, you're gonna come and say hi, but the rest, if they're in New York, you are gonna make sure that you come.
Well, thank you for joining us. I'm gonna let you go. Bye. And I'll see you on.
Nice to meet you, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judy, do you want to unmute yourself? Did you?
Hi. I had a question about the, I did one sweater bottom up attached at the yoke, the sleeves and the body. Is there, my sleeves came out a little too short. How do you actually measure that?
Well, you basically, why I personally like the bottom up sweaters, because you need until where you want the sleeve to connect, right? So for me, it's like I like my sleeves a little looser, so I come to like this level, right? Like right here.
I can't see you.
Here. Now you can see me. So basically, like you need from the bottom, right? And then you come to the point where you want the sleeve to connect with the sweater. So if you like your sweater tighter, you go a little higher, right? Like you can take your favorite sweater and put the bottom to it and see to which point do you want to connect the sleeves. And the same way with the sleeves, like you start knitting the sleeve and then you see like you want to connect it right here, or like if you want it a little wider, you connect it a little lower. So you just measure it on your favorite sweater. It's like the easiest way to do it. You know, like find something that fits you really well, the way you like, and just measure it to that. So this way,
okay, thank you.
The lengths of the body and the lengths of the sleeve, the way you want it. I think it just,
I love,
yeah, I find like when you knit from the top down, it can fit like really well in the chest area, but then sometimes it's a little too wide on the sleeves. Whereas if you knit from bottom up, like you can gauge it a little bit more precisely, you know.
Okay, thank you.
I would just pick some like your favorite sweater and go from that. Well, I wanna ask you guys for your opinion, because last year when I did the knit along, I did it in Ravelry group, and my feeling was that I didn't really feel the energy of the group, right? There was some people writing messages on the Ravelry thread, but it sort of felt a little bit lonely on my end. Do you think that we should have Zoom parties like this, like once a week, just to catch up and see where everybody is? Or are you all on Facebook? Then you can join Knitters Gonna Knit and post there. If you're on Instagram, you can post on Instagram with Melody KAL hashtag. And please tag me as well, because I want to see everybody's progress. Let's spread the word. Like, don't just sit home and knit. Like, let's make it a social encounter. So share your progress, share your yarn, share everything you make. If you're in every place, if you're on Ravelry, please start the project page and share it with the Fiberchats group. Also, if you're on Ravelry, add me as your friend, because I would love to be friends with all of you. For me, this is why I'm doing this. I just want to meet the community and get to know you. The thing is, like, next week, does the middle of the week works for you? Like, if we did another Zoom like next Thursday, would that work? Okay.
I mean, as the Brit in the group, I can say that the 5 p.m. time is very nice.
Okay, perfect.
I hope it works for everybody else in the time zone land.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I might do couple weekend Zooms like in February. I just can't do it in January because my January somehow turned out to be crazy. I'm away this weekend for the knitting retreat, as I mentioned, and then like 2 weeks from then I'm going to walk knitting. So I might, so let's aim for the 18th. I'm gonna post the Zoom schedule on Ravelry group. So we'll do the same time next Thursday. If you can join, I would like to see everybody's progress, and don't feel like you have to finish the sweater by next time. It's fine if you just casting on next time. So it's not a competition. We're gonna keep doing this sweater till the end of February. Go at your own pace. If you want to knit 4 of those sweaters, feel free. If you want to finish this one and knit something else by Claudia, that's fine as well. Or if you're knitting 2 rows a day, and it's gonna take you months, it's also fine. Like, don't feel like you have to impress anybody. Just share your progress. I love seeing you. Keep in touch, and I'll see you all next Thursday at the same time. I'm gonna keep the Zoom the same Zoom link, basically. I'm just gonna make it perpetual, so you don't need to remember what ID and what password. Just you know where to find it. It's in the Ravelry group. I'll put it in my stories on Instagram. I'll put it in Knitters Gonna Knit. So just wherever you are, share your progress and join me next week. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
And thanks, Irina. You always host wonderful things. So just wanted to let you know we appreciate you too.
Thank you. Lovely to see everyone. Bye.